Hi, I'm Valerie Wheeler and I'm here with EirGrid, official timing partner of the GAA Championship. We're chatting to some of the best known players of recent years to find out more about the community that shaped them. Welcome to Time Out. Today we're with Philly McMahon in his local community of Ballymun. We're here in Ballymun community. Philly, what was life like growing up here?
Yeah, we're up in Poppentry Park, so Ballymun is not a coastal community, let's say, but this is a beach because, you know, in the summertime you would have seen people from all different parts of the community come up to Poppentry Park, whether it was playing sport or just chilling out with the music on. This is basically like our beach, you know. A lot of my friends went the pathway of drugs and crime, and I suppose I was very lucky to have sport. You know, I had a mentor in Paddy Christie, you know, who would have seen the energy I had from maybe, you know, the difficulties I had at home with my brother John struggling with addiction, and, you know, he would have brought us up to here. This is where we would have trained with Ballymun Kick'ems from a very young age, and, you know, the amount of hours we would have spent up here would have taken away from the hours of me probably getting up to mischief, you know, around the flats and possibly ending up on drugs or committing crime.
EirGrid are massively committed to working with communities, of course, but for the community of Ballymun it obviously means a lot to you.
Yeah, Ballymun has shaped me massively, you know. It's given me a lot of values, you know. When I grew up, only realising in probably my adulthood that, you know, looking back, there was a lot of people that I was surrounded with from the community that were, you know, huge parts of the positivity in the community and activists in the area, and that's the same today. You'll see I'm surrounded, very lucky to be surrounded by a lot of people that are in that area of community activism, and, you know, it's, for me, it's in my blood. Ballymun is, you know, it's something that I you know, till the day I die, I'm going to be, you know, talking about Ballymun because it's definitely given me that value set along with my family, you know, to be the person I am.
You're probably a role model for a lot of younger people now here in Ballymun, but for you, who was your role model growing up here?
Well, yeah, I think everybody influences somebody, you know, so my sporting role model was definitely Paddy Christie, you know. He would have been, as I said, the person that seeing, you know, this fella comes from Ballymun, he's got this energy, and, you know, that could do really well in the sport, and, you know, the amount of contact hours outside of the sport he gave me and other lads was incredible to get us to the stage where we got to, you know, play just senior football with Ballymun Kick'ems or play with the Dubs, you know. So Paddy Christie was definitely my sporting role model, and, you know, John, my brother John, was a role model for me, you know, and you know, people might say, well, hold on, how can you be a role model if you went a certain direction in life? But John going the pathway he did and me seeing the pain and suffering he went through made me go a different direction. So that's why he's a role model for me. But my parents were huge influences in my life, you know, the amount of time and effort that they put into me, and they probably seen one of their children go down the opposite way, you know. That was probably tough for them, but they, you know, John would have been that person that ultimately would have been, you know, constantly reinforcing me, going training and making sure I stay in the straight and narrow because of what he did, you know, and so did my mum and dad.
Thankfully, Philly, you found football and we were all able to see you tearing it up in Croke Park. What was it like for you winning your first All-Ireland in 2011?
Yeah, look, just to put the jersey on initially was an amazing thing for me, you know. 2008 I made my debut, so to get across the line after 16 years, be a part of that team to win an All-Ireland in 2011 was incredible. And the way we won it also was, you know, to beat our big foes of Kerry and to beat them with the last kick of the game, and as the whole stadium shook, it was incredible. Like, you know, it's one of those things that I've never experienced since that, like, you know, and I've won 7 after that, but like the one that we won in 2011, the whole stadium shook. I don't know, maybe it was the stadium or it was my head, because it was just like, the noise was incredible, and yeah, we just kind of broke the camel's back with that one, you know, and that was crucial for us to get across the line in a big moment, in a big game. We struggled previous years to do that, so brilliant for all the community, you know, the club, the family, and all the people that put time into us, you know, the county board. So nice to give them that reward back.
You went on then, you won 2, you won 3, you won 4, and then eventually you got your 8th in 2020. Like, did you still enjoy winning at that stage as a dub?
Yeah, because at a certain time then you would have got to a stage where, you know, winning games or winning, you know, Leinsters or All-Irelands, you could see the energy you were giving people, you know, and for me, you know, particularly people that were struggling. So that changed the way I thought about sport. It wasn't just about, let's say, going through that transition of putting the jersey on, loving the sport and playing it, to playing for your county, the Dubs, but to winning, and then seeing people, like the happiness you give people that were struggling, like, because my dad was one of those people in the stands that he was struggling with an illness, and I seen the energy I gave him. So kind of thought about the people around the stadium, and the lads were very grounded as well. The management team kept us very grounded and connected to the people of the county. So that was incredible for us.
Where'd you keep all the medals? Are they thrown in the press somewhere?
I don't get them now. My mum has them.
Does she?
Yeah. As soon as I won an All-Ireland, my mum took the medals and the jersey, so she has them framed all over it's like a museum as you walk in. So my other siblings, I'd say, are either pissed off that I have them on the walls, or they're like
It's like a shrine to Philly.
A shrine, yeah.
Poor siblings. But what for you, of all the years, maybe was your most memorable match to play?
The most memorable match, I suppose the Mayo semi-final, I think it was 2016 for me, was a memorable game because it was the day of my birthday. I think it was the replay, and also scored 1-2 as a corner back, so it outscored me man. So that was an incredible game for me. A lot of people talk about the 2015 final when I marked Colin Cooper, because he was such an amazing player, and I done my job that day, and we won the All-Ireland. So a lot of people talk like that, but definitely the 2016 game against Mayo was my favourite one.
Was there ever a moment of playing where you'd maybe a low game, or maybe a low
all the
moment
time? Yeah. It's just, you can't play 14 years without having little dips, and particularly in the season. Like, it's when I was part of a team that was very competitive, very strong squad, and once you got the jersey, the philosophy was, once you get that jersey, that's yours, hold on to it, and the manager would back that, So if you got the jersey early in the season, there's times where it was so hard to maintain, that you kind of had these little dips, but you had to build up a trust with the management team and your teammates to go, I have a little bit of a dip, but I'll get back on it. And you'd like to think other players would do that as well, and you'd trust that as well. So, of course, those games where, I would have probably, my man would have scored only 2 points on me and I would have been took off, That's the standard we were at, But that's what happens when you play an elite sport.
You did a lot of charity work as well, also.
Yeah, I have my own charity, Halftime Talk, which impacts at-risk youths and people that struggle in the world of addiction and that cycle, And we basically do educational programs in communities, and we kind of use the life skills of business and sport to try get them in a different direction, and try give them a really positive pathway. And kind of at the end of that educational course, we further them on in terms of mentorship into whatever kind of area they want to go to.
You do so much, but there's something maybe that not many people, I didn't certainly know this about you, that you play the saxophone.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
But you know what, I picked up the saxophone on the basis that if I could learn a music instrument, it would mean that I'd have balance.
Okay.
It would mean I've had time, So right now I'm not playing it that much, so that means I'm doing something's unbalanced, Am I working too much, or am I playing sport too much, or whatever it is. So the saxophone, I love house music. I love music in general. I come from a family that love music, and my mum said that one Christmas, what do you want for a present? Because I'm one of those typical hard person to buy for, and I said, look, I want a saxophone. She thought it was crazy, So my sister got me lessons, and I played it ever since,
Amazing, love that. Philly, when it comes to life, what would you say is the best advice you've ever been given?
In life, the best advice I got was off a guy called Trevor Crawley. He's a soccer coach. I worked with him with Shamrock Rovers and Bohemians. He said to me, he got this bit of advice and he passed it on to me, which is basically get busy living, And when I look at my life and what I've went through and the gifts I've been given, I'm very lucky to be here, to have all the things I have and be grateful for all the things I have. So get busy living is the best advice I've got.
Unreal. You've done so much in your life, but now where do you see yourself in the next 10 years, 10 years time? What's Philly doing?
I'm a fat man ready to get out, just sit on a chair and eat loads of bad food, because I've had 14 years of eating healthy. But no, I don't know. I'm that type of person that just wants to take it as it goes, and go with the flow and try achieve whatever I can. I'm very big believer in creating your own opportunity, So I'm excited for business. I'm excited for doing stuff in the media world and doing my social charity work, and obviously I have a son, Lennon. He's 15 months old, so I'm really looking forward to seeing the journey with him.
Look, it's been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the lovely insight into your life and the community of Ballymun. Thanks, Philly.
Thanks very much.